Durag Diaries, and a bomb has just gone off. Literally, Alexander Isak has announced that he would like to leave Newcastle. Official reports have now been released. The rumors have been swirling for months regarding Isak's future. Will he leave? Will he stay at Newcastle? But now has been confirmed by Craig Hope from the Daily Mail, but also David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano to say Alexander Isak wants to leave Newcastle United. Absence from Celtic friendly plus Asia tour, 25-year-old's preference. Newcastle United Football Club keen for Sweden international striker to stay on improved deal, but also exploring potential replacements. They're already exploring replacements. We touched on just over a month ago how greedy Liverpool were being in this window. But I think that was just the start. When they started off with Wirtz, Kirkes, Frimpong, it was like, yo, these men are serious in this window. But they took that a step further. Now, they've confirmed Ekitike. They want Isak. £120 million they inquired for him just last week, but they want him as their top target. But they haven't just stopped there. Because if Luis Diaz goes out the door, then that leaves an opening for a new left winger. And I don't know if people have seen, but Liverpool have also looked at Rodrigo. Yo, how raunchy. These guys are just going for everyone, anyone. They can't be stopped. Liverpool are literally smelling blood. They saw what they done to the Premier League last year without any signings. And now, with Isak on the radar fully, with Isak having the confirmation to say that he wants to leave, yo, people be on alert. Because Liverpool aren't playing games. They aren't playing games. Alexander Isak has made it very clear that he does want to leave Newcastle. We saw the reports early in the day regarding him being left at home because he's nursing an injury of some sorts. That was shut down instantly, and it's very clear to see why. If you're going on a preseason tour, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. If a guy has just got a knock, this isn't an ACL or an MCL or a player that's going to be doing, rehab. This is a player that's just had a knock, and they've done a scan, and the precautionary scan came back all fine. So if a guy has just got a knock and he's been left at home, quite clearly there's something that's going on behind closed doors. And we made it very clear. It looked like this would be the case. I was always under the impression that if your player's staying at home, and let's have it right, this isn't a 3-4 day tour. They're away for nearly 2 weeks. So if he's going to be away from the squad for the next 11 days, come on, people, let's move smart. Isak is maneuvering his move. It was just 2 or 3 days ago that we heard Al Hilal want Isak, and he is open to a potential move to Al Hilal, with the rumors quoting his wages could be upwards of 30 to 40 million pound a year. So that would not be a surprise if Isak heard that and his ears perked up and he was like, yo, 30, 40 million amount a year. I'm going to be one of the top paid players in world football. I only need to go there for a year or two and then I can come back and I'm set. I don't blame him if that was the case. When these players are hearing the figures, we saw Chuba Akpom say it. When you hear the figures that Saudi clubs are quoting, it's hard to say no. But if it's not a Saudi club, then who will it be? Liverpool? It could be them. Chelsea? It could be Chelsea. We all know how Chelsea need a striker. They're currently in for Xavi Simons. They're currently in for Hato. But could they go in for Isak? Could they really test Newcastle's resolve? Who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I think the timing is key. Because it's quite late on in the window, considering the window's been open for 7 weeks. And we're only 3 weeks away from the season. You consider majority of teams by now have made their marquee signing, especially with just last week Arsenal confirming, or just a few days ago, that here we go for Victor Gyökeres. So with that all now confirmed, Arsenal are out of the picture. Liverpool is still in the picture. Chelsea is still in the picture. United would be a step back, so it definitely won't be them. Manchester City isn't even an option. Tottenham's, I don't think it's a step forward from him. It's probably a sidestep. So where is he going to go? Who's got the money for Isak? Maybe he knows something that we don't, but it's a very confusing time as a fan of Newcastle, but as a fan of football, because I can't see what they're working here. Now, if he's agreed personal terms with Liverpool and he's got some assurances that they're going to put a bid in, then it won't be surprising. Liverpool could potentially make up to £120 million just selling Diaz and Nunes. If they sign Isak and then they've got Ekitike as well, and they've got Gakpo for the wing, and you got Rio and Goma as a backup. Oh, serious stuff. They could also switch the formation where they just play a 2 up top. You got Ekitike and Isak, and you have one of the players drifting out wide. Like, they've got options now if they go in for this. But Isak, no surprises here. There's no surprises here whatsoever. When he won that trophy, many people thought, your job is done here. Look to move on. And if he was smart, he would have made it very clear straight at the end of the season that he wants to go to another club. And he could have started a bidding war between Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, whoever it was. He could have started that bidding war. But now I just don't see that happening. Now I see one club going in for him, and that would only be one. Whether that's Chelsea, whether that's Liverpool, they're the only 2 teams in the Premier League that I can see have the funds to secure this deal. But outside of that, I wouldn't be surprised, and I generally wouldn't be surprised to see Isak sign a new deal. We've seen this happen many, many times when players want to leave because they feel like they can get a good higher wage elsewhere. Clubs re-sign them on a new contract, giving them that higher wage that they want, but then put a release clause into that contract. So if any team does come in within the next season, he's allowed to go for, let's just say, £140 million guaranteed. And then the rest has to be in add-ons. I can see that happening, but look, this is madness. We thought this transfer was slowing down. It's definitely speeding right back up. And Isak's making this a whole lot more interesting now. I'm loving it. But people, look, make sure you're staying tuned in, checked out. We just hit 3K today. Big up to everyone that's helped me get there. 3K is a massive, massive goal. Truly, truly humbling. So I appreciate all the support. But we're now on to 5K. Now, I say now on to 4K. We've now got the road to the 4K. 998 to go. Make sure you're one of those. Let's get to 4K. Just like the camera is, yeah. 4K settings. You know what I mean? Yeah. But big up to everyone that's been tuned in. This has been another episode of Durag Diaries. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're tapping the post notification bell to stay up to date with all transfer news, and smash the damn like button.